Well, all right. Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends. Hello and welcome. How's everyone doing? It is Friday, August 17th, 2018. I am Darkside Phil. I welcome you to a very special day, a very special event. Today is very special for a notable number of reasons, so let's go through them, okay? So, first of all, guys, typically when I stream, I do a double stream day. And what that means is usually I do an earlier stream where I play one game for around 4 to 5 hours. And then I have a second stream where I play another game for about 2 hours. So, essentially I'm streaming for 8 plus hours, but I get around anywhere from 6 to 7 hours of gameplay in every single day. Okay? Today's a little different. Today I will not be doing, two major streams. Instead, we're doing one event. All right? The event is called the Rage-A-Thon. And I hope you guys are excited. This is something that's been building up for several months. It was months ago when we hit a subscriber goal here on Twitch in order to make this happen. Okay. And then it was actually the patrons who nominated and voted on games to get into this Rage-A-Thon event. And let me tell you, it was contested, it was heated, it was interesting to see what kind of games people nominated and voted for. One of the games that originally was going to be in this event, I already went out of my way to complete yesterday. If you're not aware, it was Persona 3. This was a game that 2.5 years ago I had rage quit and never went back to. And people were very angry that I had never done that because they had been invested. This was a playthrough that I did like 160 some parts into. And to not finish the game was like a big time investment to watch the playthrough and not finish it. So yesterday, I went back, and thank God I did it this way, because people nominated and voted for this game to be in the Rage-A-Thon. It took almost 4 hours for me to finish the game, because it's literally a grind. I had to grind for an hour to prepare for the final boss. Then the final boss itself is an hour-long fight, okay? And then there was the epilogue. So if I hadn't done it as a separate event like I did yesterday, okay, basically, we would have never gotten it done. I would have played it for like an hour, hour and a half here during the marathon, and it wouldn't have completed, and it would have been a big disappointment for everybody, okay? So I'm glad I did the executive decision to finish that yesterday. If you have not seen it, I have completed Persona 3 after 2.5 years away. In fact, the ending was so emotional, I actually cried a bit. I'm not even exaggerating. I actually cried, okay? So, hopefully, you guys will check that out. I know it's been a long time coming, but it is finally live, okay? Now, that being said, today, what are we doing? What kind of games were voted in for this Rage-A-Thon, and how am I going to go about it? Well, allow me to explain. Alright. First of all, it's going to be the following games are guaranteed to be played. Ready? I Want to Be the Guy, or I Wanna Be the Guy, I think is what it's called. Street Fighter V, God Hand, Cat Mario, and Scarface. Those are the games that I'm guaranteed to be playing today. Now, in the case that maybe one or more of those is a dud and people get bored or it's just not working for whatever reason, I do have a backup in UFC 3, although I don't know how well of a backup that's going to be, considering I haven't played the game since, it was new. Ugh. And I'm pretty much not going to remember how to play it. And, even though, yes, I raged when I played the game months ago, that was because I was actually actively trying to play it. I don't know how well that would work. That's why I made that the backup. Okay? That's why. So, guys, it's going to be interesting. All right? It's going to be an interesting event. How am I doing this? Well, first of all, you got to realize what kind of games these are. So, I Want to Be the Guy is a PC game. Okay? Street Fighter V is on PS4. That's the version I own, and that's the version I'm playing. God Hand is on the PlayStation 3. Cat Mario is a PC game. And then, actually, it's a Flash game. You play it in a browser. And then Scarface is on the Xbox 360. And then if we decide to do it, UFC 3 is also on the PS4. So, 4 different gaming venues here. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be swapping between for variety's sake. Because, for example, if I played I Want to Be the Guy and then Cat Mario, it may lose its effect because, number one, they're both PC games and they're kind of similar from what I'm to understand. So that being said, I don't want to do that. I want to kind of do variety's sake. So I think we're going to start today with I Want to Be the Guy. And we're going to play that on PC for about an hour to an hour and a half. We'll see. Playing it, how much you guys like it, how fun it is. Is it causing me rage? 'Cause I've heard it's incredibly difficult. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. Then once I've played that for a while and we feel okay, it's time to take. Let's swap to something else. I'm gonna swap to Street Fighter V. Now that's gonna just immediately gonna be a pain because I gotta move the webcam, I gotta move the microphone, I gotta swap the capture setup and everything. The good news is I won't have to change the resolution or frame rate, so the stream itself could keep going. I won't have to stop the stream for that, but I will have to swap around a lot of other stuff. Okay, so I'll be doing that on the fly, and then we'll be doing for Street Fighter V. Now I'll be honest with you guys, Street Fighter V, I really don't think this is going to cause me much rage. To give you guys some perspective, many of you may not know because maybe you don't follow my fighting game stuff. All right, Street Fighter V, when it came out in February of 2016, was a broken, horrid mess. The game barely worked online, had almost no offline content, and the launch version of this game was atrociously bad. It was laggy as shit. It just wasn't very good. Okay, and I played it for a few weeks to a month, and I got so disappointed with the game that I said, until there's like DLC characters, I'm not going to keep playing this because I don't like it. Then when the DLC characters came out, I played them, and I didn't like them either. So basically, everything about the first few months of Street Fighter V turned me the hell off from the game, and by that summer, I said, I never want to play this ever again. I don't like this game. It really is a disappointing outing. It should have been much better. I haven't played it since then. So we're talking 2 to 2.5 years, all right, that I have not played this game. There have been numerous balance changes, numerous gameplay changes, tons of new characters added to the game, to the point where basically it's a totally new game. It's like completely redesigned from the ground up. Now, personally for me, I still don't like it. I've watched a few people play it, like Arturo Sanchez is a really good player from New York, an OG just like me. We've been around the block. We've been around for a long time. And I'm a friend of his. And so I host his streams here sometimes on Twitch, and I've been watching him play the game on and off for the past few months. I still don't like it. The game to me does not seem like a very viable fighting game. I'm sorry. I know there's so much hype and everything behind it. It's just not very good from the eyes of someone who's been around. Okay, I don't like it. Arturo has mixed feelings on it. Like he'll play the game and he likes it, but he also acknowledges that there's shortcomings to it. For example, a lot of the game is guessing. Because the game innately has more delay than other fighting games, and because it's not really about reactionary gameplay, it's more about just guessing. If I do this setup, will I hit or will I not? I'll just guess. And a lot of it is just like that, and a lot of it is safe mode gameplay. It's just not very good. There's no footsies. There's a lot of basics of old school fighters that are missing. Okay? They're missing from this game. And that's why I don't like it, all right? Like, here's the thing. I think people were like, oh, Phil's going to play this game in Rage because he doesn't like it. The thing is, I haven't played it for 2.5 years. There's no chance I'm going to be winning any of these matches in Street Fighter V. But if anything, it might actually be an interesting stream because it'll be the first time I get to see most of the new characters. Like, I haven't seen any of these new characters in action outside from the very few sessions of, like, Arturo streams that I've watched for a few minutes. So there's going to be characters I've never seen before. There's going to be, combo strategies. Like, I'm not going to know anything. I'm probably going to pick, like, fucking Ryu and just get completely destroyed not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Okay? I mean, seriously, after not playing Street Fighter V for 2.5 years, can you imagine I'm anywhere on my rank must be, like, abysmally bad, right? I mean, there's people that have been playing this game for 2.5 years straight and have super high rank, so I'm sure I'm not going to be doing much, all right? But it might be pretty cool. We might be able to see, new characters and stuff that I've never seen before. So if anything, you may think it's going to be Rage. I don't know. It might not be Rage. It might just be, wow, this is kind of interesting to see these new characters and stuff in action in this game. Okay? So there you go. Then, after Street Fighter V, I think I'm going to switch over to God Hand. Now, I don't know much about this game. It's a PS2 game that's considered a classic, and I'm playing it emulated on the PS3, which means it's going to have input delay. There's nothing I could do about that. I don't know much about it at all, so it'll be interesting maybe to try it out for the first time, but I guess we'll see how that goes, because like I said, I don't know much about it. Will it cause rage? Will it not? I have no idea. All right, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to switch over to Cat Mario, all right? And then I think to finish the event, the big finale that everyone wants to see me play, because undoubtedly this game will cause rage, it's going to be Scarface, Okay, so I think that's a pretty good lineup. And like I said, if I play each game for roughly 1 hour to maybe an hour and a half for games that people are liking a little bit more, okay, it should be good because I'm going to start playing when I finish this pre-stream. And as you guys know, typically I finish the pre-stream between like 11 and 11:30 a.m. here. And I'm going to be playing till around 7:30 p.m. tonight. So we're talking roughly 7 to 8 hours, okay? With breaks. Keep in mind, guys, when I swap games, we're going to have to take some time between the games to do the setup of the next game. And it could be, it could be a lengthy amount of time because switching the camera, moving the microphone, switching the cables, checking the resolution, switching the resolutions, right? Could be a lot of work. Essentially today, I could pretty much record everything at 720p 60 frames per second, and I think we're all right. So I actually don't think that I need to restart the stream at all. Like, I wouldn't have to totally take the stream down and then bring it back up at any point, I don't believe. But I would have to take breaks to swap all the cables and everything, okay? So, there you go. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully it's a good event. Hopefully you guys like it. If you guys like this event, I would certainly consider doing more specials type events like this in the future, okay? I definitely be consider doing special marathons that have a kind of a gimmick. This is the Rage-A-Thon, right? And I already do indie marathons. So, what would be another gimmick kind of marathon that I could do? I don't know. How far can Phil get in a speed run of Dark Souls in 8 hours, right? Something like that. I could do like special, I would consider doing stuff like that. Phil's special challenge run event. He's going to play a certain game that we know he's played before, but it's a tough game, and he does it with a variable, and how far can he get in a certain amount of time, right? Maybe I'll do events like that or something. I don't know. This is interesting to me, and I'm curious to see, how those would go, all right? So anyway, that's today. This is all today, guys, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to record each game as one video. Each game will be one video, okay? So the good news is if you watch my stuff on YouTube and you're not able to be here for the entirety of the stream today, let's say you're only interested in God Hand and Scarface. Well, guess what? There will be one video for God Hand and one video for Scarface on YouTube on DSPGaming later today. So you won't have to skim through 40, 50 fucking videos at the end of today to find the stuff you want. There's only going to basically be the pre-stream and then 5 videos uploaded to YouTube, period, today. All right? This is my big change. All right? Big change from the way I used to do stuff. So let's see how it pans out. I hope people will watch the videos and enjoy on YouTube, okay? All right, now, that's today. Tomorrow, guys, is my day off. So a couple things, because this is kind of important. There's some stuff I'm going to be doing a little different. Number one, I will be uploading videos tomorrow to DSPGaming. All right, and you might say, well, you're not here tomorrow. What are you uploading? Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be uploading Persona 5. What I'm going to try to do is finish uploading Persona 5 to DSPGaming so that the entirety of the Persona 5 playthrough is on that channel. Right now, it's split. Most of the playthrough is on DSPGaming, but the final several sessions is over on KO Gaming because that was the 2.5 weeks I didn't have monetization on DSPGaming. So what I want to do is get all the videos on DSPGaming so the entirety of the thing is in one playlist, one channel, not that people have to jump between channels and shit to see the whole thing. So I'm going to be uploading those videos tomorrow while I'm off to DSPGaming Saturday, okay? But if you guys are not interested in that, what you need to do, very important, guys, please listen up. Tonight, after I finish this marathon later tonight, I'm going to be putting up a poll on my Twitter. @TheyCallMeDSP is my Twitter. All right. Oh, my God. Excuse me. Now, if you guys want to control the game that I'm going to be playing that's going to be balanced with new releases this month, all right, you need to vote. Because here's what's happened. I was planning originally on doing We Happy Few and balancing that with other games this month. And I played it for about a week. I think it was like 3 major sessions. And basically, people don't like it. People are saying, not only does the game run like utter shit, I mean, the frame rate's terrible, the game crashes, the loading takes 3 to 5 minutes to load the fucking game. And people basically are pissed off. They're trying to watch it. They're like, not that I don't want to watch you play this, Phil, but the game is just so poorly optimized that at this point, I don't even want to see you try to play it because it looks like shit. Come back when the game is running better. And the good news is, The creators of the game, Compulsion Games, have announced they are releasing a patch. I believe they said over the weekend or Monday. I'm not sure. But they said basically for consoles it's going to take longer because console has to get the approval via Xbox Live / PlayStation, etc. You know, they have to get approval. So basically, sometime next week there may be a patch that improves the game. But essentially what people are saying is don't play this game as a main thing anymore. You know, if you're going to do it, maybe do it as a downtime thing every once in a while. Do it as a nighttime stream. But don't make this your main stream, and certainly don't play it a lot because it's just not a very good game. All right. So I listened to what people said, and I said, all right, but we need to finish August. And right now, the only other games going on in August are Shenmue, the collection next week, which I'm going to be playing Shenmue 1. And then Fire Pro Wrestling World is at the end of this month. So what am I going to do? We still got 2 weeks left in the month. What the hell am I going to play? So, guys, this poll, all right, this poll that will be on my Twitter is incredibly important that you vote. It's going to determine the next game that I play. And the choices are some pretty interesting ones. So listen up. The first choice, Dead Cells. This is an indie game right now that apparently is all the rage. All reviewers have kissed its butt. Streamers are going crazy for this fucking game. I don't really know much about it. I didn't play it, but, you know, people have been clamoring for it. The other one is Death's Gambit. This is another indie game that people have been clamoring for and getting a big buzz about, all right? So 2 high-profile indie games that a lot of people are playing and praising right now in the running. The third choice is Grand Theft Auto 3 HD. This year, ladies and gentlemen, the year of 2018 is my 10th anniversary as a content creator for the internet, and some of the most popular playthroughs I ever did was the summer when I played all of the Grand Theft Auto games back to back to back, okay? So far this year, I've already replayed Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto Vice City in their HD counterparts, and I did a lot better this time around than 6+ years ago, because guess what? I was playing them without input delay. Originally, when I played these games, I played them on PS2, but it was basically running on an HD TV, causing monstrous amounts of input delay, and so I had a ton of trouble with these games, okay? Now, playing these HD upgraded versions, I don't have that delay, and I've been doing much better, okay? And actually enjoying them a hell of a lot more. A hell of a lot more than the original playthroughs, okay? So, that is a game that I'm putting into the running. For those who don't remember, my original Grand Theft Auto 3 playthrough was full of rage, full of hilarity, tons of difficult parts in that game, tons of bugs, and I never legitimately finished it. I cheated to win. I couldn't even beat it without cheating. So, if anything, you could call it a redemption run, because I got to go back and beat the game without cheating. So, Grand Theft Auto 3, the redemption run, would be the third game in the running for this poll for the weekend. And then the last game, guys, a game that people have wanted me to go back to, a game that, again, would be a redemption run because of some circumstances around my original playthrough. Ladies and gentlemen, Dark Souls 3, okay? Dark Souls 3. This is a game that when it launched in early 2016, I played it on Xbox One, but I played the Japanese version, but not really. Basically, there was a glitch. There was a bug on the Japanese Xbox marketplace where you could buy the Japanese version of the game, but then you could download the American version in English, okay? So, basically, I played the game early, but when I did so, supposedly what people said was that, oh, it wasn't the finished version. You downloaded the unpatched, unfinished version that isn't the proper version. The early game is too easy and stuff like that. Basically, there were a lot of circumstances around it that people were kind of upset and saying that they wish that I had played the proper version. Although it's funny because I played it 2.5 weeks early, everyone loved it. But the fact that apparently I didn't play the full version, so people have always had an asterisk next to my Dark Souls 3 playthrough. Plus, I didn't beat the super boss or the hidden boss of the game. What's his name? Forbidden King, Forsaken King, whatever his name is, the guy who rides the fucking dragon. I never beat him legit. I only beat him using summons. I could never beat him legit. Okay? So, here's the thing. Originally, when I played this game, I played it on Xbox One, and the game had so many graphical issues, like frame rate drops out the ass, and every time that the frame rates dropped, the input's delayed. So there were certain bosses that I couldn't fucking beat normally because of the fucking tons of lag in this version of the game. It just ran like shit. It really did. It ran like molasses on the Xbox One at launch. It was really poor. This time around, if if this is what's chosen for the playthrough, I'm going to be playing it on PlayStation 4, which supposedly is better than the Xbox version. Plus, it's received numerous patches and updates over the year, a couple of years that it's been out, and apparently runs much better now, okay? So I would basically be starting from scratch, on the PlayStation 4 version of the game. So there you go. So your 4 choices for the weekend, which you must vote on, please. It's very important you vote to determine what I start next week. Dead Cells, Death's Gambit, Grand Theft Auto 3 HD, or Dark Souls 3. Both Grand Theft Auto 3 and Dark Souls 3 would be considered redemption runs for my original playthroughs, okay? So guys, please, vote, all right? Now, here's the deal. I'm going to be very, very honest and upfront with all of you. This month, even though I've had a ton of fun playing games and you guys have, joined the streams, it's been a slow month in regards to streaming. And what I mean by that is a lot of streams, we haven't had many attendees. And especially compared to July. July was a month where if you think of the stuff I played, I was playing Simpsons Hit and Run. I was playing Silent Hill 2, Vice City. And just between those 3 games, it really brought in the viewers and the participation. This month has been very slow. And I'm nervous because YouTube revenue is way down for me. And I don't know what's going to happen in a couple months here. I'm nervous. So what I'm trying to do is play a game that's going to bring people to streams. So they'll want to come out. They'll want to watch. They'll want to, participate in the streams and interact with me and contribute in any way possible, so we can get stuff getting back to the level we need it. Because, by the way, right around the corner, we've got all the fall games coming out. And the last thing I want is having a slow stream, right? Slow attention when all the new stuff's coming out. We need the exact opposite. We need something to reinvigorate people, to bring them back to the streams, all right? So that they'll come and enjoy stuff and get engaged again, so that when we hit these new games in the fall, boom, we've got these people already coming in. You see what I mean? Versus, oh, Phil's just playing crappy downtime stuff in the summer. I'm not going to watch him, right? No, we got to bring people back. That's why I'm doing this poll. And I'm saying we got to get something to bring people back. All right, so hopefully, whatever wins this poll will be interesting and fun and exciting for the viewers, as well as engaging for me to play. It'll be something you guys want to see and I enjoy doing for the end of August. Of course, keep in mind, we're still going to be doing the Shenmue collection, and I'm still going to be doing Fire Pro Wrestling World, but those are going to be balanced in with whatever wins this poll, okay? Sounds good? All right. So there you go. That's the deal. Please vote. Very important that you vote and help determine what I do in the rest of the month, okay? Fair enough? All right, thank you guys. One final piece of news, and then we'll get to plugs and everything here. If you guys did not hear, Spyro Collection, the Spyro Remastered Collection has been delayed. Son of a bitch. I mean, seriously, that's annoying. And let me explain why. First of all, September originally was going to be a very exciting stacked month, but it seems more and more games just keep getting delayed. First it was Code Vein, which was supposed to be released in late September, got released or delayed until 2019. So we don't even know when the hell this game's coming out. Apparently it's because the game was at various conventions and events and people were playing it and saying it wasn't very good. So they went back to the drawing board to try to refine this game and make it better. So that game's completely gone, okay? Then, the Spyro Remastered Collection, this collection of Spyro 1, 2, and 3, remastered in full HD, new graphics, modernized gameplay elements, basically, a real reinvigoration of the series, much like what happened with the Crash Bandicoot trilogy a year or two ago, which was incredibly popular and made a ton of money, all right? Was supposed to come out in late September as well. Nope, now it's been delayed. Of all times, wait till you hear this, guys. You guys ready? Spyro is not coming out until the 13th of November. Do you want to know why that sucks? Because on the 13th of November, we already have Hitman 2 and Fallout 76. So what Spyro effectively did, it took itself out of a prime time to be released when it really wouldn't have had any competition. And if anyone was looking for a new game for that week or couple of weeks, they would have bought it. And it put itself right into the midst of an insanely busy gaming week where people already are hyped for the other releases. And effectively, it kind of killed itself a little bit. Now, certainly, I'm not saying that those who are going to buy the Spyro collection may have all are going to say, "Oh, no, I was going to play Fallout 76 or Hitman." But what I'm saying is, for those who have to choose, it's going to be a tough decision. And here you go. Some people in the stream chat right now are saying, you know, Insular says, who cares about Spyro? And Canadian Sin says, or Canada Sin, I don't know how to pronounce his name, says, definitely playing Hitman more. Sorry, Spyro. That's not good. See what I mean? Like, this is a bad decision. In my opinion, they should have timed it differently. They should have done it different. I mean, I understand if a game is not coming out the way they want it, and with only a month to go before the game releases, they say, you know, it's just not there, let's delay it. Fine, but don't delay it to a week with 2 giant releases on the same day. I mean, talk about shooting yourself effectively in the foot. And that's literally what they're doing here. Because now, September, which was jam-packed with games, is now getting emptier and emptier. Right now in September, here are the games that I'm interested in. Dragon Quest XI, Spider-Man, SNK Heroines, and maybe Tomb Raider, okay, maybe. And at the end of the month is episode 2 of The Walking Dead Season 4. And that's it. That's not a very packed month. We went from a month that was going to be jam-packed to a month that's kind of, okay, there's all right number of games, but it's not like overwhelmingly full of games. And that's kind of disappointing because whenever you get into the hardcore gaming season, you love had those days. You're back-to-back, new game. And it doesn't seem like we're going to have that now because all these games are getting delayed, right? So for me now, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I'll be honest. Although I do appreciate if they really are delaying it to make the game better and make it run better and just be an overall experience for the purchaser, fine. I support that. I do. But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen with Spyro now coming out in the middle of a busy gaming month of November when people will be playing other games, right? You basically you've gone into cannibal season. Games that eat each other, because that's really what happens. You know, when you have a month to 2 months where there's like 24 releases, some games are just not going to get bought or played when if they had been released at a different time of the year, they might have, right? So I guess we'll see what happens here, guys, but I am disappointed. You know, Spyro Trilogy, I'm very excited for because I played Spyro 1 last year. It was a Patron's Choice playthrough, and I loved it. I thought Spyro 1 was an amazingly fun console game. It had challenge if you wanted to get all the items, but it was fair and it was interesting. And I really liked it, and now it's like, man, now we got to wait for this collection to play Spyro 2 and 3. And now I'm going to have to balance Spyro 2 and 3 with other major games that are going to take a lot of time. You know, it's disappointing. So, all right, we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's the big kind of news, gaming news for the day. All right, guys? All right, guys, I'm going to do plugs. I'm going to do them as fast as possible, just like I did yesterday. All right, you ready? Thank you guys for 10 years of support. Next month, September, is my 10-year anniversary as a content creator. I absolutely love what I do for a living, and I hope to keep doing it, all right? If you love the daily live streams I do, and you love the videos on YouTube, and you love everything, you want it to continue, there are many ways that you can go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or video watcher to try to support the content and make sure I can keep doing it. The first is to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil, where your monthly pledges earn you things called perks that I give back for your contributions, all right? In particular, the best perk, in my opinion, is if you pledge $5 or more, you get to nominate and vote on games for special events. This particular month, if you pledge to my Patreon $5 or more, you'll be nominating and voting indie-style games for an upcoming Indies Marathon, similar to today's Rage-A-Thon, that I'll be doing in the fall. And there's been a lot of indie games recently that have come out that I really haven't had an opportunity to check out. I mean, Hollow Knight, I just mentioned 2 of them. Dead Cells and Death's Gambit. You know, there's a lot of these that have come out, and I don't get a chance. So, a great opportunity for you to control an event and nominate and vote on stuff that I'm going to be playing in a fun stream. And by the way, when I do these marathons and events, typically if there's a game or 2 that I play that I like a lot or ends up catching on with the viewers, I'll usually turn it into a full playthrough in the future. It's happened many times before, okay? So don't think, oh, I don't want to pledge because if I pledge, I'll just see Phil play a game for an hour. No, potentially, if the game's good and people like it, I'll do a playthrough of it, all right? So consider pledging to my Patreon. Check it out. There's many other perks you can get, too. But I'm just saying, you know, that's the best one. Check it out, patreon.com/darksidephil. And thanks to anyone who is a current pledgee. Also, I launched my Teespring line of product for my 10th anniversary as a content creator, guys. That's correct. 10 years as a content creator. That's pretty awesome, right? Let me see how hold on a second, guys. Well, as you can see, this is a very different setup than how I usually do it because my camera's already over on my PC here. But I'm wearing one of the shirts for my 10th anniversary line of product. This is the new graffiti design. Pretty cool. It's got all kinds of stuff on it, related to me and or my content. There's also three other designs on my Teespring that you can get for my 10th anniversary line of product. All right, so please go check it out. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. All right. Thanks to everyone who already has bought stuff from it. Appreciate that. And it helps me out, and you get a cool collectible as well. All right. Now, in particular, if you're here live on today's stream and you're enjoying the event, you like everything I'm doing, you want to support the content, and you want to get a shout out during the stream, you can. If you either cheer, sub, or tip, I will give you a verbal shout out during the stream. All right. However, there are some ground rules to follow. Please be positive. Don't bring in negativity or insults or anything having to do with drama outside of this stream. All we're doing here is trying to focus on fun gameplay and have a chill stream and have a good time together, not to bring in outside negative influences that are going to ruin the event for anyone. So please, none of that. And number two, please don't bring up controversial topics like religion or politics that are going to divide the stream chat. We got to be focused. We got to stay the course and make sure that everyone has a good time here today. Okay, guys? And also, by the way, please don't post up paragraphs and stuff. I'm not going to be reading 14 sentences in the middle of a gameplay stream. I got to keep it moving. All right? So, in general, people who cheer, sub, or tip to get a shout-out get it. The streams are pretty fun and interactive and great in that regard. And thank you to anyone who does, support the streams. If you want to go a step further and get an animation to play so you get visual recognition, you could do that by either cheering 50 bits or more in a single cheer, subscribing to the channel and clicking on the share button. That'll show up after you subscribe, or tipping me $5 or more in a single tip. Okay? If you look at the top of your screen, we got the stream stats leaderboard in effect, and over the course of today's stream, I'll be updating that. If you are the current top cheerer or top tipper, I'll also be keeping a running tally of how many subs we have here on the channel. So great opportunity for recognition there as well. All right. In addition to that, let's keep going. Subscribing to the channel. What does it get you? It gets you emotes. It gets you a chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter, and you don't have to watch advertisements if you subscribe to the channel. So you get many benefits. Please consider subbing. It helps the channel out. It helps you out as well. All right. And let's see. Outside of that, the only last thing I want to mention in the plugs is how to tip. Because tipping is separate from cheering and subbing. How do you tip? If you look below my stream, there's a button that says Tip Jar. If you click on that, it'll take you to my PayPal tips page where you can either be anonymous or you can leave your name in a message. All right. Or if you don't see the Tip Jar button, that's cool. You're probably on a mobile version of the site. Instead, just type !tip into the stream chat. It'll bring the link up where you can tip me. All right, guys? All right. That is it for the plugs. Now, on to the shout-outs for those who have contributed via cheering, subbing, and tipping during the stream. I want to give credit where credit is due, and I appreciate, again, anything that you guys contribute, all right? It all helps, especially now, like I said, this month has been a slow month for me. You know, after the really great month that I had in July, this month has slowed down significantly, which is why I'm trying to reinvigorate things these coming weeks with a new game that we're putting a poll out for. So I hope whatever you guys vote for ends up being really popular and people will come hang out with me, because I need it. I need it right now. I can't. If I have a really slow end of August, I don't know what I'm going to do in the next couple of months, you know, when things are so tight. We got to get people excited to come back to the streams, okay? Okay. So, first of all, overnight, we had a couple people who cheered. I want to say thank you guys for that support. We have Infinite55 who did a 100-bit cheer, and then we had Emperor Swaggins who cheered and said, Spyro delayed until November. You think that's a better time for it? As I've already said, no. I actually think it's terrible. It's a bad week for it. Because that particular week, sadly, you've already got 2 giant game releases that people are going to be interested in, and I don't think people are going to be dropping those releases to play Spyro. I think Spyro, sadly, is going to be the game that has to be wait to be played, and they're not going to get the sales that they were looking for because of this delay. I'm just saying. All right. So Russ Garber cheered and said, when does the stream start? Only he did that when the stream had already started, so I think he was just joking. Thank you for the cheer. Nick, tip me $1 and says, now that you've finished Persona 3, you have to play Persona 3, 4, and 5 back-to-back on the hardest difficulty. No. Absolutely not. In fact, I said this yesterday. When I finished up Persona 3, I said, pretty much, unless I go to play The Answer, which I don't know how long The Answer is. It's like the expansion for Persona 3 that elaborates on the ending. But pretty much we're done with Persona for a while now. You know, I've played the 3 major ones. Yeah, there are 1 and 2, but everyone kind of collectively agrees that 1 and 2 aren't very good because they're very dated games that just are, in the modern era, not very fun to play because they are so dated. So really, we're done with Persona for a while now. You know, as good as the series is, we gotta wait. And if you guys don't know, it took freaking like 8-9 years for Persona 5 to come out. I think they started development in like 2008, 2009, and it didn't come out to 2017. So we may have a while here to wait for Persona. I'm just saying. So we've been all Persona'd out, guys. All right, Larkside Shill, which I think was some kind of a lame attempt to insult me, did a 95-bit cheer and said, "You will see the new characters and rage quit." I think he's talking about that in regards to Street Fighter 5. I'm not gonna rage quit. Why would I do that? I don't. Here's a game that literally I don't care about at all. I don't give a shit. I don't care if I have 0 ranking points. I don't care if I have fucking negative ranking points in this game. I really don't. I just don't care about it. Why on earth would I rage quit when I was playing this game? That would be pretty silly. Anyway, thanks for the cheer. I don't know, you know, nice attempt to make fun of me with your name. The Canadian Sin cheered and said, "Would you ever consider a platinum run playthrough as a sub's goal? Playing a game and earning the trophies until you unlock the platinum." Well, it would have to be a game that was a realistic goal. Sadly, a lot of the games these days, that goal of doing a platinum trophy is boring as shit. Like, it may be, oh, you have to grind endlessly and do, you know, get a certain amount of collectibles, or, you know what I mean? Like, here's an example. Playing through the Crash Bandicoot games is fun and fun to watch. Playing through the Crash Bandicoot games, for me to just go and collect every single collectible is probably boring as shit, because you gotta collect so much shit, right? So, that's what I mean. Like, would that even be interesting for someone to watch? You know what I mean? If there were a game where you think it would be entertaining for me to go for it and people would tune in, absolutely. But I don't know if we've ever seen that. You know what I mean? A lot of these games where the platinum trophy ends up being you have to do a ton of like time-consuming stuff that people wouldn't like to watch. So there you go. Russ Garber here, he says, "When does the gameplay start?" The gameplay starts at the end of this pre-stream when I finish giving shout-outs to my contributors, who I appreciate very much, and then I switch over my setup to play I Want to Be the Guy. When will that happen? That's up to you, because it depends on how many people I have to give shout-outs to and respond to. So, there you go. If you would like the answer, perhaps you should go ahead in a time machine by about an hour, and then you could pinpoint the exact time of when I finish the pre-stream. Then you could come back and you could tell us. How about that? Alright, so Kill Bill cheered and said, "Thanks for 10 years of great gameplay. Many YouTubers rush through a game and move on to the next one. I always appreciated the fact that you do side content and try to show as much content as possible. Can't wait for another 10 years of content." Well, Kill Bill, first of all, thank you very much for that sentiment. And actually what you're describing, okay, is something that I didn't do at first. When I first started on YouTube, I was like that. I was someone who, I was known as the guy who on release day would run out and buy the game from his local GameStop, unbox and do an unboxing video for YouTube to build hype for when he's playing it. And then that day on release day, play it all day long and then upload those videos. And within 2-3 days, I would beat most games. And in fact, within a week, sometimes I would be trading games in to buy the next slew of games. And so a lot of the times back then, I could get tons of trading credits. Sometimes I would get more than half the value of the game back when I traded it in. Okay. So that was it. And, you know, I didn't, back then, really, realistically, I didn't do a lot of side content. And a lot of the times it was just about beat the main campaign and that was it. Now, there were pros and cons to that approach. The pros were, I was able to cover every major release. I was one of the few people to do that, because most people would pick and choose what games they wanted to play. I was the guy who would play every major game on release, right? That was my shtick. That was my thing. That Phil would play every game right away, beat it quick, on to the next game. So you see a ton of videos and a ton of content and playthroughs on his channel, and you would never have to be bored or anything because there's always something new, right? That was kind of the deal. But what ended up happening was after about 2-3 years of me doing it that way, people started complaining and saying, you know, Phil, some of these games you've played, we can't really feel like it's a full or legit playthrough because you missed out on so much, like entire chunks of story that were missed out on because I didn't go check out, explore side content and the like. And a lot of people, I'd say sans 2012, 2013, were complaining that because I didn't take my time, that the playthroughs weren't very fun anymore, that they were too rushed and not interesting, and they wanted to see more, okay? And so it was around that time period that I completely changed, and I said, you know what? I'm adapting direct capture. I'm adapting live streaming. And since I'm adopting all of these things, might as well change everything else up. If I'm going to play a game and I'm really enjoying a game, I'm going to take my time at length to go through this game and play all of the content of it, all right? Now, some of the games where I've done that ended up being some of the best playthroughs I've ever done. Mass Effect 2, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, right? The Fallout games. All these games where I basically did not purposely skip stuff, but instead really fleshed out the content of the game, ended up being really entertaining and fun and synonymous with the greatest stuff I've done in my 10-year run as a content creator. So, in this modern era, you're right, now I do. Now, and a lot of times, I'm going to take the time to play a game. I am going to take my time to play the game and run around and try to find all the fun and optional stuff in the game and basically try to get a really interesting, a really interesting playthrough for you guys to watch that feels like it is a complete run of a game, not just, Phil saw the icing on the cake and never really dived into the full confectionery tastiness of it, right? So, yeah, thank you very much for that cheer, and I appreciate the sentiment. It was just part of me improving my content over the years. K-Styles 1998 has subscribed to the channel for the 21st month in a row. That is awesome. Thank you, K-Styles, for 21 months of support. As I've told you guys, some people are going to be coming up on their 2-year anniversary. This November will be a 2-year anniversary for a lot of people who watch my stuff over the years. So, pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. And let's see how it goes. But thank you guys so much for all of your support. I appreciate that. All right. Nick tipped another $1. He says, I actually think that webcam angle works for you sitting on the couch when you play console games. Well, here's the thing. I'll show that angle again. This is a very different angle. You're seeing me from a different perspective. I'm looking here like with the camera's here. It's not. This is where the camera usually is. It's over here. It's a very different perspective. Here, look at this. You can actually see my energy drinks and stuff. You can see my microphone. You can see my laptop. You can see how everything here is laid out in front of me. So it's a very different perspective. And my TV is over here on the other side of the office that I'm looking at. But I'm way far away from the camera. You don't really get to see, like, I'm too far away for you to, like, effectively see my facial expressions and stuff like that. The normal camera being right here, right, focused on me, you can see my expressions, you can see reactions a lot better. So even though this may work for some circumstances, I don't think this would be, like, ideal. If I had a 2 webcam setup, like, if I had a webcam here and I could alternate between them, that might be cool. But, I just got the one for now. So, okay. Let's switch back. And thank you for the tip, Nick. Appreciate that. So Eternal Napalm, Eternal Napalm did a 100-bit cheer. Let's get Eternal Napalm up as the top cheerer for today on the leaderboard. Okay. There we go. What the hell? It dropped the 1, 1, 0, 0. What the hell? I know I typed it. That was weird. Like I said, sometimes this wireless keyboard doesn't do what I type. Kind of messed up. Anyway, so Eternal Napalm, thank you for the cheer. And he says, Tomb Raider had so much going for it after the reboot in 2013. It was great, but Square Enix fucked up big time, making Rise of the Tomb Raider a timed exclusive for the Xbox One. Plus, the second game was not as good as the first. Now, the third entry is almost flying under the radar completely. They shot themselves in the foot big time. Yeah, it's funny, like, when you talk about the big releases for September, Tomb Raider is in there, but a lot of people kind of gloss over it, like it's not. And really, I see some people on social media, like Twitter, getting hyped for it, but I certainly am not getting the vibe from this game that I did for the previous Tomb Raider game. I mean, that reboot in 2013 was white hot. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was excited for the modernization of Tomb Raider, and a lot of people, played the game that normally may have not ever played Tomb Raider. A lot of people who had never played a Tomb Raider before came out and played that game, and then when they made the sequel a timed exclusive, You know, that pissed people off at the time. You got to realize this was a few years ago. At the time, the Xbox One was finally just starting to be a console that people were buying as much as the PS4. It actually took a year or two for the Xbox One to start to catch up because the PS4 sales were so overwhelmingly good compared to Xbox One at launch, and it took Xbox a while to catch up. Now, Xbox, in its defense, has had many great sales. Like at the end of the year, they had these holiday bundles where you end up getting 2-3 games plus the console for a really good price, and with all its backwards compatibility and upgrades, the Xbox One has proven itself to be a formidable force this console generation. However, you know, it just needs to be said, many more people at the time were owning PS4s than were owning the Xbox One, all right? And so to make Rise of the Tomb Raider an Xbox One exclusive for a full year really did kill the game. Effectively, by the time it came out for PS4, most people didn't care about it anymore. So now, oh, we're not doing that this time, right? Oh, it's all going to come out on the same day, all the platforms, all the versions of it. But right now, most people kind of didn't play the second game. Plus, you're absolutely right. The second game, in my opinion, was nowhere near as good as the first. I thought it was very boring. It was very boring, very cookie cutter, following the same exact formula. It didn't innovate. And it got to the point where it just felt very repetitive and blah. As compared to, you know, the original game where it really did feel like a full reimagining. What ended up happening was there just been too many other good games in the meantime. And Tomb Raider kind of got eclipsed, I guess is the best word for it, by other great games. So now, is Tomb Raider going to be a big release in September? I don't know. I honestly don't know how many people are going to care about this game. Am I playing it? I don't know. I'm even on the fence. You know, I've played the first 2 games in this trilogy, and I'm on the fence about playing the third. I don't know if I want to or not. So, I guess we'll see. Shout out to Kate. Kate cheered 95 bits and says, Scarface hype and happy Jim Bob Fridays and shout the Vendatus. He's a cool person. Laughing out loud. Well, there you go. Thank you, Kate, for the cheer. Street Cash Homie did a 200-bit cheer. It says, Resident Evil 3 Redemption Run, no ink ribbons. You are a sick, twisted individual. How could you even say such a thing? Resident Evil 3 already doesn't have enough ink ribbons, in my opinion, and then you go and say something like that. Like, why not just say Resident Evil 3, you know, while walking on broken glass, sticking a cactus needle in your dick hole, and, you know, with a rabid dog eating your face off. Why not? That's the ultimate challenge, Ron. No. I will not be playing Resident Evil 3 with limited ink ribbons or no ink ribbons. That's insane, okay? Absolutely not. I refuse. Okay. Moving on. Shout out to Eternal Napalm, who cheered again. And he says, what pisses you off more? A puzzle fucking boss or inputs dropping because of lag? Man, you know, that's a tough decision. Because here's why I hate both. Puzzle bosses, and what he means by that, if you guys aren't aware, is if you're playing a game, and for most of the game, you're able to logically just figure out what you're supposed to be doing. You know, you're playing Resident Evil, and there's a boss, you gotta run around, dodge its attacks, shoot it a bunch. It's like a bullet sponge, but, you know, it dies eventually, right? But then you come to a boss that literally just doing the normal game mechanics of the entire game up to that point doesn't work. You need to know a specific thing to do in order to conquer the boss. I fucking hate that shit. I do. Because what you've effectively done is you've taught me all these things over the course of the game. Now you want me to forget them all and just magically figure something the fuck out in order to kill a boss? That's very frustrating. Alright? You know, as a gamer who plays a ton of games on the fly, and I go between them frequently, it's hard enough for me to jump between different skill sets, you know, a platformer versus a fighting game, versus a puzzle game, versus an action game, versus a sandbox game, versus, you know, they're all different. They all take many different skill sets in order to play. Now I learn your skill set, and now you just want me to fucking somehow figure something else completely out too on top of that. That pisses me off. Especially when, essentially, if you lose the boss fight because it's a puzzle boss, now you gotta redo other shit to get back to the boss. Very frustrating, okay? But, playing games online and having your inputs completely drop because of a bad connection, honestly, is probably worse. Because there's nothing worse than being into a game, being into a competitive feeling. And it doesn't matter what kind of game. You know, for me, essentially, it would be fighting games. But for many people who play other kind of competitive games, I'm sure it's just as frustrating if you're playing a first-person shooter, right? And you're ready for something critical. You got to shoot, throw a grenade, or a melee attack, or do something, and it doesn't react the way you want it because of a bad connection, right? Essentially, for me, when I'm playing Street Fighter, right, and I know if I were playing the game in an offline setting where there are no dropped inputs, that if I were playing the game there, right, that I could defeat someone easily versus playing a game online where, because I know there's a little bit of lag and sometimes the game will delay what I do or completely drop it sometimes. That really angers me, especially in a game like I'm really good at, like a game like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, where I know if my moves are coming out, I'm going to dominate most of the time. And then I play online and half my moves don't fucking come out. You know, I need a reversal here to get out of a situation. I get a nothing. I don't even get a move. One thing, you're supposed to do a reversal headbutt with ball raw. I get a jab. Okay, well, it didn't take my input properly. Sometimes I don't even get the jab. I get nothing. Nothing? I was charging down. I pressed up on the joystick and then pressed the button. Nothing on the screen. What? You completely dropped everything I did? That is incredibly frustrating. So for me, I would say dropped inputs are worse. So there you go. Although both are rage-inducing for sure, the dropped inputs are more annoying for me. Okay. Draconics cheered and says, what is opinion on using green screens, or have you thought of using one? I have no problem with people who use green screens. I don't essentially feel like it adds anything to a stream to have a green screen. I just think it, you know, for example, you know, my webcam, actually, I wonder if, well, hold on a second. Did I set this up? Let's see. Oh my God, my webcam is tiny. See, I didn't set it up yet because I want to be the guy. I don't know where to put it. But here, I'll fuck with this while I talk with you guys. So, my webcam, as you guys can see, I don't use a green screen. And there's a couple reasons for that I'll talk about in a moment. But as you can see, if you make the stream look nice, if you use a border or an overlay or whatever, to make it look nice, essentially this webcam is just as cool as if I had a green screen. You know what I mean? I don't see any added value to those who are using the green screen. I don't really care about, I can see their head and shoulders, but I don't see behind them. I don't care. This box is not taking up so much space in the game screen that you guys can't concentrate or anything. You know what I mean? I know there may be setups where people do things that are more distracting than what I do. And no, I don't think that that's a good idea. But for me, like, if I had a green screen behind me, I don't think essentially it would really add anything to the stream. Now, for me, the reason I don't do it is because in my office setup here, all right, I'll go back and show you again. In my office setup, this is my love seat. This is my laptop and everything here. My TV's right here, and my computer's over here. So literally everything is where it is, and I can't move anything. This office is very small. I don't have a lot of space to work with, and I can't really rearrange anything in this office because I'm so limited space. In fact, my PC has to stay over there because that's where the internet line is, okay? So, behind me, there's no room. This is a wall. Look, I'm touching it. I'm touching the wall behind me. Right now, it's literally directly behind me. I couldn't put a green screen here. There's nowhere to put it. If I taped it to the wall, you would see ripples and shit on the wall, and the green screen would look terrible. And people who use green screen for their streaming setup, basically they're sitting at their PC on their chair, all right, and they have a green screen standing behind them. I can't do that. My setup doesn't allow me to do that with the space that I have. As a primarily console gamer, I don't have the same setup as the vast majority of people that you see streaming on Twitch, okay? Now, later today, when I'm playing games on my PC, yeah, if I had a green screen, a little small green screen, I could probably prop that up. But even then it would be lighting. Or how do I get a light over there at my PC to light me properly so that you can see the green screen? It's just, basically a green screen is a ton of fucking annoyance and work for very, very minimal payoff, if anything. Like, I don't get people coming in and complaining about not having a green screen. I don't. At one point, when everyone was like, you got to stream with a green screen, people were complaining. But after that, after I basically said, you know, what's the point? It doesn't add anything to it. It's not a big deal anymore. People don't really ask for it anymore. And it honestly, again, I don't think it would, for the tremendous amount of work, extra setup, and effort / annoyance to get it to consistently work and look good, I don't think there would be enough benefit, okay? Now, if I ever redo my setup completely, like let's say eventually I get rid of this love seat and I get a smaller thing to sit on over here and I have a little bit of room now behind me in the office, then yeah, maybe I would consider doing it. But right now, that's just not the setup I have. So that's why I don't use a green screen, okay? Biology Bob tipped me $1 and asked, what's the word on John Rambo? Biology Bob, I have no idea. I don't talk to John Rambo. He has his own YouTube channel. I'm sure he puts out his own content. And if you're interested in him, you could go watch his content. Isn't it Super John Rambo Presents? Or is it John Rambo Presents? Yeah, I think it's John Rambo Presents, right? Go check out his stuff. That's how you can find out about John Rambo. You don't need to ask about him on this stream. I know nothing about him. I really don't. I'm busy. Trust me, I'm more than busy enough with my own shit, okay? Famous Dex cheered. He says, I'm ballin' so hard like the mayor. I'm ballin' so hard like the mayor. I'm ballin' so hard like the mayor. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Straight Cash Homie cheered. And he says, Phil, are you going to watch SummerSlam? I'm hyped for NXT TakeOver. Yes. I am going to watch, both NXT TakeOver and I'm going to watch SummerSlam this weekend. Now, am I hyped for them? Not super hyped. But I am excited. And, to watch wrestling. Wrestling is fun. And for me, as I've said many times recently, it's not serious anymore, which is cool. Like, when I was doing my wrestling commentary show for many years, I felt like when I watched wrestling, I had an obligation to fully pay attention to every single segment so that I could take notes on it and I could criticize it later on my show. I don't do the show anymore, and now I can just be a fan of wrestling again. Okay? So, that's good. I like that. And I don't stress too much about it. If a wrestling show sucks, I don't care. And if a wrestling show is great, I enjoy it. And that's it. I really don't have much else to say much about it anymore. I don't have, big opinions or anything on this stuff. I basically just enjoy it for what it is at face value, okay? All right. So Famous Dex did a few more cheers, and now he's starting to do detractor memes, so he's banned. Third Eye the Third cheered. He says, liking the new cam angle, but can you crop yourself a bit more and enlarge the picture? The cam is really far away. Third Eye the Third, I'm not using that camera angle. That camera angle is only there because my first game today I'm going to be playing on PC. And so that's going to be basically with PC cam. And then we're going to switch back to the standard camera angle when I start playing stuff on consoles. All right. Russ Garber did another 100-bit cheer, and he says, as a new viewer, it's hard for me to motivate myself to sub when your pre-streams are this long, and he pours salt. Well, Russ Garber, FYI, the reason I do this is because when I get into gameplay, I like to focus primarily on the gameplay. Even though I do shout-outs for people who cheer, sub, or tip, the pre-stream is a time for people to ask questions, to get stuff off their chest, to talk with me and interact with me before we get ingrained into an event. Like today's event in particular is going to be a very long event where I'm going to be constantly having to switch setups. It's going to have downtime between the games, right? So, knowing that makes more sense for me to talk with everyone now, okay, than, do that now rather than later, all right? Do that now rather than, now I'm getting distracted. Stupid phone's vibrating. Oh! My stupid phone is vibrating. God damn it. Hold on, guys. Hold on a second here. Alright, sorry. I got super distracted. Alright. So getting back to the subject. Yeah, all that being said, guys. The bottom line is this. I love doing shout-outs to my viewers and fans who contribute. I love giving them time to talk with me and air stuff on the streams and have fun, rather than it just being about me playing a game and I ignore them all. A lot of streamers are so big they don't get that direct interaction because they got too many people on the stream, right? And I understand some people complain about the length of the pre-stream. Some days it's shorter. Some days, recently, some of those have been really short, and some of them have been a little bit longer, all right? It depends on how many people are interacting and how many people are getting shout-outs and the like. So yeah, I understand. At the same time, everyone knows that my gameplay usually starts between 11:30 to 12 p.m. Everyone knows that, who is a regular of the streams. And I guarantee a certain level of gameplay. Like I told you guys, I'm going to be playing till around 7:30 tonight, regardless of how long the pre-stream goes. So, There you go. All right. And Honest Troll Cheers is, what's the word with Howard? I have no idea what the word with Howard is, dude. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with Howard. None. I have no idea what you're talking about, all right? All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. I want to say thank you guys very much for being here on today's stream. I hope that this stream goes well. I certainly hope that you guys enjoy the Rage-A-Thon. All right. We're going to start, like I said, with I Want to Be the Guy. I'm going to take a couple minutes here to get it set up. And then we're going to be doing Street Fighter. And then we're going to move on with the event and see how it goes. All right. Oh, hold on a second. RFHC5 cheered. And he says, don't worry, Phil. People at low ranks play the same 2 years ago in Street Fighter 5. They don't know much at people at higher ranks. Yeah, I don't care. Like, for me, I'm not playing this to do well. I'm not playing Street Fighter 5 today to do well. I'm just playing it because it's part of the Rage-A-Thon, and it'll be more of an exploratory thing, all right? All right? Deluxe Swine did 100-bit cheer and says, Phil, honestly, if you had the face cam on during pre-stream, I think everyone would like it more. It's your personality that's the big draw, not just your voice. You see my face the entirety of the stream outside of the pre-stream. You don't need to see it on the pre-stream as well. Relax. Okay. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to end the pre-stream. We're going to take maybe a 5-minute break for me to switch the setup here. I have to get the stuff set up over here on PC. You're probably going to hear noises. You're going to hear the game booting. You're going to see me try. Yeah, I'm going to have to get it captured and set up. You're going to see stuff going on here in the capture software and everything. All right, essentially. And then, and then we're going to be, basically, we're, playing that for a while. I Want to Be the Guy. And then we'll switch over to console stuff and go from there. Okay? Fair enough? All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Let's end the pre-stream. Get stuff set up and get this show on the road. This is going to be a fun event. And keep in mind, no actual ending to the stream. The stream will just keep rolling. But there will be breaks in between the games as I have to do the setup changes. All right? Fair enough? All right, guys. Thanks. And I will see you in a few.